XYZ. I'm Steve, and I am the X.
And I'm Isaiah, and I'm the Z. Now let's get into the Y. What you got for us,
And,
Steve? What do you got for
well,
us?
well, I think today, I think we should get into pretty much a year in review of 2023 between Xers and Zers, and
Okay.
uh, just see where it takes us.
Okay.
I pulled up some stats the other day that I thought was pretty interesting, and I'll just go ahead and read them off to you, and then get your thoughts.
Perfect.
Uh, Year in review for Gen Z on technology.
Okay.
TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat consume much of Gen Z's daily attention.
Okay.
TikTok currently taking the lead between those aged 18 to 24 spend on average of 58 minutes daily on TikTok, 38 minutes on Instagram, and 30 minutes on Snapchat. But Instagram is poised to overtake TikTok in 2024. This can be concerning, meaning that the majority of all news that Gen Z gets are from TikTok and Instagram sources. So, do you watch that much damn TikTok?
Well, here's the thing, Steven. I don't have a TikTok. Well, I'll take it back. I created a TikTok for my streaming account. So for Pixel Gods, I have a TikTok. But I don't get on TikTok. I've never have. I always hated the idea of like people being able to see me or listen to me at all times. Or maybe it's just my inner hatred for the rivalry, or not the hatred for, but the instilled rivalry of I don't want China to be able to do something to America.
China.
China, exactly. So I personally don't use TikTok. So I'm gonna be skewed from everything that you're about to read. I'm not the norm.
Oh, okay, but just 58 minutes daily. I mean, they're
doesn't
like
seem
30
that
second
long, though.
videos. They're like 30-second videos.
Yeah, but if you take the flip side of that, I do that for Instagram, for like Instagram Reels. Like before I go to bed, I'll just scroll until I'm tired. I'll just keep scrolling on Instagram Reels. So that would make sense. I had to take a break from Instagram, but it's hard to keep me away from it. Like I literally re-downloaded it today and started looking at more Instagram Reels, and they're just so good. And they're completely different than YouTube Reels. They're so different than TikTok because like Instagram Reels are like unfiltered almost. Like you could be scrolling and then just catch a actual death. You catch an actual death. Like I was scrolling through Reels today, and but the thing is like on the like if you this is one of the reasons I kind of hate YouTube, and I'll never trust YouTube comments because they're so filtered and like what you can say and what you can't say. But then you go to Instagram, and Instagram comments are so unhinged, and it's my favorite thing ever. Like I was let me pull this up real quick. I was looking at this chick's I looked at one of her reels, and I clicked on the comments, and that sucked me in for like 30 minutes of looking at her reels just to read the comments. God, I'm trying to think of
30 minutes of 30 and 40-second video. I don't know math that well, but that's a lot of freaking videos.
Dang, I'm trying to find this chick's.
How many videos in an Instagram reel are in 30 minutes? How many do you think it is?
30 minutes?
Yeah, they're like 30,
probably.
40. God dang. No way.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
For sure, it's a couple hundred. Dang.
The reason I got into that is the 2023 review on Gen Z's was You know, it says Gen Z reports the high stress levels on average between other generations, with majority having trouble sleeping at least 3 hours nightly.
Yeah, I definitely struggle sleeping, but I feel like a lot of people struggle with sleep though.
And this is just data that they've done in 2023. And you know this same website here has done it for Xers and Boomers and all that stuff too. We don't really talk about millennials on here, so over half of Gen Z individuals start and end their day with social media. Is don't know.
Dang, I felt that this morning. I felt because I woke up, and the first thing I always put my phone when I decide that I'm going to try to go to sleep. I put it on sleep mode, which is like a version of do not disturb.
Yeah.
And so I always have it on sleep mode. So like it's like I'll get no notifications, but I have it set to where like my mom or dad, if they call me, it'll still be normal just in case something's wrong or something. But and then when I wake up, I won't get any notification until I turn that off. And so it's like every morning, it's like okay, I roll over, grab my phone immediately, and take it off of sleep mode to see what's happened while I've been asleep.
So you just said you
like,
wake up and then you fall asleep with your because you just said you watch Instagram falling asleep sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's basically your ZQL, huh?
Yeah. It puts me out.
It also says that 87% of Gen Z in 2023 admitted that reducing their screen time would be challenging, if not impossible. Could you reduce your screen time?
Yeah, for sure. I think that my only issue with screen time is, I mean, I've done it. I constantly take breaks from Instagram throughout. That's not like most of my screen time comes from I fall asleep. Normally, I'll fall asleep when I'm like, okay, it's time for me to go to sleep. I'll turn on Peacock on my phone, and I'll just listen to The Office and fall asleep. Listen to The Office because that's just what I've done for like years. Like I mean, literally since like middle school, I've always went to bed watching The Office, and so it's like that is like almost like my white noise. Like it just like but anyways, so it comes from that, but it also comes from like some games on my phone. But
here's one I thought that was interesting. In 2023, 71% of Gen Zers started tuning in to watch the same series and movies as they did as kids. So
yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know if I do that with movies as much. I definitely do that with shows, though. I mean, literally, I just talked about The Office. I'll do that with that '70s show. I did that with George Lopez a while back. I went through a George Lopez but I'm trying to think of what other shows I've done that to. I've never liked Friends because it's so fake.
But that's pretty cool because like, I mean, I don't rewatch stuff like that from when I was a kid. Stuff's gotten better.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know the graphics are better. If they
it's not in black and white.
Ha ha ha. Like the Duke Boys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I grew up watching that. Not really that. Like I was more of a Power Rangers person.
Dang. They had Power
But
Rangers.
anyway,
I'm not trying to be like that, but they had Power Rangers back then.
Oh, shut the hell
I'm
up.
being dead serious because they had power. That's what I watched when I was a little kid was Power Rangers. I was always
the Power Rangers started in the 90s. I mean,
you weren't a kid in the 90s, bro.
What do you mean I wasn't a kid in the 90s?
You're
How
like
do you think I am,
30
boy?
in the 90s or something.
I am not a boomer. The show is literally called XYZ, not Boom.
Whatever, dude. Whatever. Yeah, I'm trying to think of.
Here's one you'll like. In 2023, 73% of all Gen Z males, it says all Gen Z males, purchased a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox.
When did you say that they did that?
In 2023, they either purchased a PlayStation 5 or Xbox, whatever it is.
What was the percentage of guys?
73% of all Gen Z males. So Gen Zers are some gamers.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really else to do.
Definitely some gamers.
I feel like not as many people are. I'm trying to think of like, okay, so what was the norm like 10 years ago? I guess like when people got bored, they just went out with their friends and went to like bars and stuff. And I don't know if people still do that, but it's
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't. I feel like it's not as common to do that
But
anymore.
let's be honest. The damn shutting the country down and during the pandemic ruined a lot of that shit.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, used to get bored, you go out and do stuff, but now you're like, screw it, man. I got all these games I purchased during the pandemic.
Yeah. Well, and I just love games, but
Yeah,
but
yeah. But it don't say it don't like it didn't say any like Nintendo or PC. It just concentrated on PlayStation and Xbox. I wonder more people getting into consoles than there are PCs lately or something.
well, I would say that first off, if you're buying, and I've went over this a couple times in my head, like you're not going to buy a Nintendo Switch unless you are a die-hard Nintendo game fan.
Yeah, that is
You're
true.
not doing it. Like even though like right now I'm going through. Ideally, I'm trying to stream all the Pokemon games, but eventually that means I would have to buy a Switch, and I really don't want to because
Yeah.
I hate Nintendo and who they are. Because I feel like
Because
Nintendo's so scummy.
as soon as you played that game, you would be done with it anyways.
Yeah. So, and PCs are just so expensive to get into. Like consoles just so simple. Like even like I mean I literally just got my PC like a month, like 2 months, a month or two ago. But it's like I would never have. I mean, my family definitely didn't. We didn't. Like, it's not like I grew up. We didn't struggle for anything, but it's not like we're not just buying a nice PC. That's just not happening. So it's like there's so many better things to do, but now it's like now that I have some financial freedom, it's like I can do stuff like that. But it's like not everybody can do that, and if they don't even have a normal console, yeah, you would definitely want to go the PlayStation first.
Yeah.
Before just getting into a PC, because just buying the PC is okay. So there's $1,000 gone. All right, now let me spend a couple $100 more on games. Whereas in like,
Okay.
I don't know how much a PlayStation is now. It can't
Well,
be like
here's one that's tied right with the gaming, and I think it's kind of because 73% of all Gen Z males, 2023, either had or purchased a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series, and I don't know, that's blurred out. I don't know what they're called, the Xbox.
yeah.
But right here, right below that, it says 37% of Gen Z males prefer a social gaming experience. So not everybody's playing multiplayer games or
I think that details into how we feel almost every single night of, hey, something's different now with the games
because that's a big drop off.
than it was, because it used to be like, you take away 15 years and those are the prime multiplayer. Like all you wanted to do is be online. It's like now everything's just so toxic, and I'm part of the problem too because I'm super toxic in multiplayer games and game chat. But it's like I have to be that because they're already like that. It's like you can't even just go onto your average multiplayer game, go into game chat for 10 minutes and tell me how you feel about life. It sucks. So that makes sense of where like single player games where you can just chill out. I mean, as long as it's not like Elden Ring or something like that, because you're not chilling playing Elden Ring. But
And we'll get into that more on our next podcast when we talk about some games because we got something planned for that, and we'll talk more into detail about that on our next podcast.
yeah,
But right here's another one that caught me off guard a little bit. Well, it caught me off guard a lot because I'm the type of person that believes that you got to keep some cash on you.
okay,
But apparently, Gen Z, 62% of all Gen Z never use cash. It's they do digital payment like Apple Pay, Venmo, or they do buy now, pay later, or credit or debit.
Yeah, I fall into that category. I don't ever carry cash. The only reason I have cash in my wallet right now is because my grandma gave me cash for gave me like money for Christmas. That's the only reason I have cash. Otherwise, I'll only use my debit or credit card for everything.
So that old saying, "Cash is king," is out the window, huh?
Cash has been king ever since the gold hasn't been king since the gold standard went out, bruh. Um,
I don't
but
even.
no, it
I
just has
don't,
always made more sense to me. It's like, okay, if I get robbed, I can turn my credit card and debit card off, or I can report that as fraud. But if they, if I have like $200 in my wallet, then that $200, if I'm robbed, is just pissed away. Now, first they're gonna have to work really hard to get that $200 from me. One, because I normally walk around strapped, but two, I would just, it would be really hard for me to just be robbed. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm the prime. I don't feel like I'm the prime target for most robbings. But still, that would suck if they managed to do it.
so do you have Apple Pay and Venmo?
Yeah, I got Apple Pay, Venmo, Cash App,
Well, what about
PayPal.
what the hell's the buy now pay later? What the hell are you buying now and paying later? Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about with that.
well, it's listed here.
I mean, that sounds.
BNPL. That's what it stands for, right? Buy now, pay later.
I mean, that sounds just like what a credit card is. I mean, it's like you buy it and you don't. I mean, you're not paying anything on that credit card until that your bill comes the next month.
All right, let's get into a couple more of these. There's a big list I want to go through here.
Okay.
I'm going to skip over some boring ones there's some boring ones in here. All right, so 31% of all Gen Zs that got gym memberships during the year have already canceled their gym memberships.
Yeah, I have a good insight on this because of the gym where we're from, or the gym that's here, and my parents are pretty good friends with the people who like run the gym, and I would say, and then going to the gym my entire life, I would say that there's always a trend, and it's like no, for the most part, the gym is the most empty throughout like your fall area. Like right after summer's over, that's when the gym is the most clear. And you have not really many people coming to the gym. But then when winter picks up barely just a little bit, but they're still pretty sparse. But when you literally hit Christmas break, that's when people are home alone and they're like, dang, I'm not really doing anything with my life right now. I'm single. You know, how am I going to, I'm not, I just need to be better. It's like they all have this idea of, man, I just need to go work out and I need to exercise. And they'll go sign up for a membership around Christmas, or they'll make a New Year's, what am I trying to think of? What do you do for New Year's? When you're like, okay, this next,
make New Year's resolutions.
yeah, they make a New Year's resolution like, oh, I'm going to go to the gym every day or whatever. And then they only go to the gym for like a week or two. But my mom told me this the other day. She said that one of the people who run, she's friends with at the gym, who help run the gym, talk about how there's some people when they come and buy gym membership that they'll buy the gym membership and never step foot in the gym ever again. Think about that. They show up, pay the whatever it is, $30 a month to go to the gym that day, and then they'll never come back. They never come back. It's
not one time.
Not one time. And she said there's a good majority of people who do that.
So they work out that one day.
No. They don't even work out that one day. They just come in, like they're coming from after work or something. They're like, oh, okay, this would be a perfect opportunity to sign up for the gym. They go and sign up, leave, go back home, and then never come into the gym. And then last night when I was at the gym, there were these two dudes there. And they had both had wives, and they were just reaming their wives, like just talking about, I've had a membership for my wife for the past 2 years for this gym, and she's never been in here once. I'm like, what are you all doing? It's like people love the idea of the gym and what it can do, but it sucks. It is hard. It's hard work to be in there, and it does suck. And
Well, the
and if
reason I
you're
thought that was cool to mention, not to interrupt you, but the reason I thought that was cool to mention is it's the highest number on all the lists.
is what was the number again?
31% of Gen Z canceled their memberships in 2023. I mean, millennials was right behind you at 29%, but
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense to me. Why they would cancel? Why we? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the gym is a place
I
that
don't
young
think that
guys
Gen Z, I
need.
don't think Gen Zers are that, like, who's the most out of shape generation?
I figured it would be millennials for sure.
It's got to be millennials, don't it?
I felt like it would be. I just think
Yeah.
that the gym is a place where young men, especially my generation, need to be. You just got to be there. I don't understand, and it's like some people will be like not I'm not upset, but just be like, "Hey, what's the point of you trying to lift so much weight?" It's like some people come to like even some like they don't understand like the mindset of, hey, being strong still matters. For a guy innately, it's like you want to be strong. I mean, you think of it's our DNA all the way back to like ancient
Yeah.
Rome. Like the strong. And at the end of the day, no matter what, if like, and we saw it with
Yeah, those big ass Vikings didn't scare everybody for no reason.
if the modern world ever falls for some reason, okay, who's going to prevail? Is it going to be your skinny nerd Zoomer, or is it going to be the guy who's been committed to the gym and can rip you in half? And
It's
then
going to
and
be
then everybody
it's
already
going to
makes
be the guy who knows how to hunt and fish and
yeah,
take care of himself.
that's true. But it's like everybody wants to pretend like, oh, it doesn't matter how strong you are. I have a gun. Okay, but you don't always. And there's always going to be situations where you don't. It's like
Yeah.
for
In
a
a
young
situation like that, you're going to have ammo shortage.
yeah, it's like for a young guy, I don't understand like being strong also has to do with your ego and your pride and the way you look at yourself, and why would you not want to be the best? Like you don't want to. I if I, and I'm, maybe it's a pride or ego issue of myself. But it's like for the most part, when I walk in the room, I can just look around and be like, yeah, there's definitely no one in here who's stronger than I am. So I don't understand the mindset of somebody who can walk into the room and be like, and be okay with being like, yeah, I'm the weakest in here. Like if push were to come to shove, then I would be the easiest to go down out of everyone in here. There's no way I could. I don't even know if I'd be able to properly sleep at night, and I already have trouble sleeping. But I would be just
Yeah,
destroyed.
I see exactly what you're saying there. I mean, I think every male, whether they got it in them or not, I think every male needs to have that little bit of a feeling of alpha male in them.
You got to. How can
Not
you lead if you don't?
well, it ain't just about leading. I mean, society's tore down masculinity so much,
Yeah.
and let's just be honest. The world needs masculinity.
Yeah.
I mean, you, if you're in the trenches in a war, I mean, I've never been in the military, but you're in a war and you're in the trenches, and you look over and some pencil neck geek is there holding a gun to your right, and you look over and some, big alpha male masculine dude. Who do you want having your back?
Yeah. That's true.
So,
Definitely not the tiny guy.
well, no, I mean, he's looking scared to death.
Yeah.
But there's two more here that I want to finish with, and then
Not to put down the tiny guys. If you're a tiny guy, you can change that. And as Sam
well,
Solik would say, if you're under 200 pounds, I mandate you to go on a bulk.
well, you don't
You know
have
who
to
you
be, you don't have to be huge to have the mentality either.
That's
though.
true.
But this one right here, I thought it caught my eye too. 56% of all Gen Zs in 2023 use ChatGPT.
You said 26?
56%.
Oh, 56. Golly, does it say what they use it for?
No, it just says, all Gen Z in 2023, 56% have used GPT.
Yeah.
I've never used that once. So,
I actually used it for the first time literally yesterday.
yeah, I know.
So, but that's because when it first came out, it was like you could ask the AI like two or three things, and then it made you like pay for a subscription or something like that. And I was like, this is stupid. I'm not paying a subscription. But when I got on last night, so for those of you who don't know, so when we were streaming last night, and I was like, we were making fun of one of our friends, and I was like, dang, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to come up with like a news broadcast article about roasting one of my friends, and so it came up with this most beautiful news broadcast script, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. But that was the first time I've ever used it, but it is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I think it's awesome.
Well, the reason, I've heard of it, but I've never, not one time, even thought about using it for anything. But 56% of all Gen Z in 2023 used it. So that's a lot. That's like, that's over half of all Gen Z. 6% over half.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people who, especially if they're like 2 or 3 years younger than me, they've definitely used it for college.
And
Writing
here's the
papers.
last one I want to get into.
Okay.
Gen Zers own iPhones more than Androids. Why?
Let's go,
Why?
baby.
Why?
Let's
Why?
go. I know that, and I know for people watching this, they're going to be not understanding like your stance on this, but even though Steve is a Gen X, he is a boomer at heart because
Damn, boom.
because he doesn't understand what it's like between that blue message and that green message. It's like when I have to text somebody and the first thing that pops up is instead of their name being in blue, it's in green. I'm like, hey, I kind of don't want to text them. Hey, this kind of sucks. It's like okay, you don't get I honestly, most people probably just buy iPhones just because of the blue text message and compared to the green text message and FaceTime. It's like that's literally the only reason I ever have an iPhone. And
But
and because it's
I
like
don't.
Snapchat always does something shady with Androids to make the
What
Androids
does it matter
the
if it's
pictures look
blue or
bad.
green?
Well, you can see if they've you can turn on read receipts for it where you can see where if they've read it or not. You can share locations.
You
So it's
just
like
want to know how long they've read it and not
well,
replied.
it's like also it's like okay, so like on my phone, I also have like probably about 20 of my friends. I just have their location always on my phone and they have mine. So it's like if I can open up my phone right now and be like, "Okay, where's Josh Dotson at?" And I would say he's exactly right here. Or I could say, where's Ansley or where's go in verbatim with all with everybody's location I have. It's like I have their location on my phone. So you can't do that with I mean I'm sure you could download an app, but that's just like a normal iPhone thing. Or it's like okay, if I'm wanting to invite one of my friends to come and hang out with a bunch of us or something, they don't know where to go. I just go to my text message, share my location with them, send them my current location, just stuff like that. It's like you can't. I mean, it's just a lot of iPhone stuff. And then and then most people for college they have Macs, and so you can send things between iPhones and Macs. You just with AirDrop. I have an iPad, and so it's any kind of notes I need to take, I can share them back and forth with my phone super quick. It's just like having Apple products and a multiple versions of Apple products just makes things a lot more convenient and easier.
If you say so.
It truly does. Especially if you get into the world of like editing or music, it's like no other like Mac just has the better usability for that than any other product.
Yeah, I need a course in that for sure.
Yeah, I guess. Did you say that was your last statistic you had for me?
Well, yeah, as far as just you know talking points, but there
Yeah.
is one here that I thought was pretty cool. I mean, we try to keep politics out, but in 2022, to 2023, Gen Z is even more than boomers, Xers, and millennials. Gen Z shifted more to conservatism than they did in 2022.
Dang.
More than any other. So,
Well, I think that just makes sense with, I mean, it doesn't even, you don't even have to dive too far into politics to be like, hey,
inflation.
everything's so expensive when it wasn't before.
Yeah,
It's like, so, I mean, it's not really too hard to be like, oh, do I want to be cool and sound like, I don't know. I don't even know what the other side thinks or why they're the way they are, but it's like,
yeah,
okay,
but so,
one side for sure we know right now without a shadow of a doubt. You don't even have to talk about any other topics. One side makes everything more expensive and makes life a little bit harder on you. The other, tries to make things easier on you and tries to take the government as much as it can away from your life. Hey, I vote for that side every time. You mean I got to give you less money? You mean you're taking less money from me? You mean I only have to pay $2 exactly for gas per gallon? I'm on board.
So have you noticed with people in your age group and stuff like that they kind of went more conservative
Well,
this year
here's my thing.
over last year?
I try my hardest not to talk about politics literally at all in person with people because I've noticed one thing. When I was in college, I always loved watching Steven Crowder. I always liked watching these what's his his Change My Mind segments where he sits down at colleges, and it's like I love things like that. I love watching Daily Wire, but then it's like, truly, what are we accomplishing with that? And like Steven Crowder would be like, oh, it's good to have a sit down conversation about it. Like, okay, but the only thing you're doing is making the right side hate the left side more, and the left side hating the right side more. And it's like, the only thing that we're accomplishing is making us hate each other more. And I hate that because it's like, yeah, I don't want to, for the most part in my life, I'm a very easygoing guy. I like to be friends with everybody. So it's like, as soon as people start bringing stuff like that up in person, it just immediately like creates this division. And something to truly I don't even have control over. Like, okay, so it's like, okay, maybe I want to vote for so and so. Okay, unless it's like a local election, like with a mayor or a sheriff, truly my vote doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it just doesn't. It's like when on our last presidential election, where I was in college, I had to send in a mail-in vote. Frick me, who knows who I voted? Who knows who I actually voted for? I can tell you who I intended to vote for, but who knows if that actually happened or not.
Yeah, I don't mail-in votes, man.
Who knows if it just didn't end up in the dumpster? I don't know.
I don't think they might. I mean, they didn't. It ain't saying nothing about politics. I mean, they're just saying conservatism. I mean, that could be. You could be. Your morals could be changing. Your stance on spending could be changing. Conservatism is more than just politics.
Yeah, I know, but at the same time, it's like in my life, I really don't hang around with someone who's so far on that other side because they just genuinely wouldn't enjoy being around me. Because if someone's on that far of the opposite side, then they're offended by everything that would come out of my mouth, and like 95% of what I'm saying is sarcasm and or making fun of you in a joking, loving way. So
sarcasm is the best.
Yeah, and so that the other side of things doesn't really take too kindly to that. So they would not be around me.
So you're saying those type of people couldn't be in our gaming conversation sometimes?
I mean, I'm sure they could probably be in there, but they probably
we'd roast them. You know that?
Yeah, that's true. They wouldn't enjoy it for sure. I mean, I could definitely be completely civil around somebody like that, but they just wouldn't enjoy the things that I would say. They would take offense to it for sure.
Well, we all get offended sometimes, I guess.
Yeah. So we're coming fresh out of 4 days. We're 4 days after Christmas. So what'd you think about Christmas this year? I know you talked about it last time, how Christmas isn't a big deal, but...
Well, I mean, we cooked for an army.
I saw
and nobody showed up. So we still got plenty of Christmas leftovers. If anybody wants to come and grab some food, man.
Yeah, just give them your address. Just shout out your address right now, and they'll come in a week, and they'll come and grab your food.
Yeah, it's 100 GTFO Lane. So now we cooked up. Sit at home. Me and the wife, and gave presents as they walked out the door. So we didn't even really get to watch them open their presents. So.
Oh, for real? They didn't even open presents there?
Well, you gotta think. Everybody was sick, so it was like, I don't want to be sick, so stay the hell out of my house.
Here's the thing: I always find it so awkward opening presents in front of people. Sometimes, I guess it goes back to like me as a kid and me like getting something that I didn't really want or I think that sucked, and it's like you having to pretend that you liked it anyways, or you'd get smacked. Because you have to be grateful what anybody gives you, even though if it sucks. So it's like I always hate that, especially with like girlfriends, like going to like a girlfriend's family for Christmas or something like that, and them getting you a gift and them making you open it in front of their entire family. I think that's at least top 3 things I hate in the world most is having to do something like that in front of like a shoddy's family. I hate that crap. Oh,
I don't even like gifts anyways.
I hate that crap so much. Oh, I enjoy it.
So you have what's like the most awkward situation that you've been in with that?
I can tell you right now. I'm gonna try not to. I'm not gonna use any names though. But I was in a situation and we were at my girlfriend at the time. We were at her grandma's house. It was Christmas, and her family is pretty large. And so we were all like sitting in a circle, and it's like I was kind of. I mean, I think we may have been dating for like a year at that time, maybe a little over a year or something like that. And so like all her family knew me pretty well, but it's like I definitely didn't bring them any gifts, and they brought like her parents, like my girlfriend's parents at the time, and her grandma had got me things. And so at the very end, I can't remember. I'm trying to put this together because it was a while ago. It was like I think it was at the very beginning, they made me open every gift in front of everyone. And everybody had to watch me do it. And it was only me. Or I can't remember that, or if it's like everybody took turns opening gifts and like everybody stopped and watched you. So it's like, okay, you open a gift and you have to give a reaction. Every time you open a gift, you're like, oh, you open it. Oh, wow, this is awesome. Thank you so much. It's like, yo, that just sucked. I hated that crap. It's so... And I'm a guy who loves awkwardness. Like, I love awkward situations, but that was, like, awkward to the max. I hated that crap. I hated that crap so much.
No, but we didn't do anything. Didn't go nowhere. Just cooked. And we thought about, like, well, if we'd had our camera in and stuff, I thought about, like, recording it and streaming it, maybe, all the food that we cook. But so what would you do?
We have every Christmas Eve. We always go to my grandma's, and we do like the kids will get gifts, and then like the adults will do like a white elephant thing. And my family's pretty like old school.
A what? A what?
White elephant thing, like a white elephant Christmas thing. Do you know what that is?
No.
So what that is, it's like everybody brings one gift, and you put it under the tree, and then you draw numbers. And so like let's say that there's 10 people bring a gift, so that's 10 gifts. You put down numbers in a bowl or a hat or something, and you draw numbers 1 through 10. And so if your pick's number 1, then you choose a present, but they're all wrapped. So you choose a present and you get that. But if you're so number 2 gets the next pick, and they can pick a present under the tree, or they can steal number 1's gift. So if you're number 10,
This has to be something you've made up. Your family's
No,
made
this
up.
is no. This is huge. This is everybody does this. This is a very
No,
no.
no, there's
No, this
not.
is a very widely known thing. White elephant Christmas. This is, anyways. So like, if you have a number, if you're like the last number, then it's like you can get the last present, or you can steal anyone's gift. But the best number to get is number one, because at the beginning, since you're the first one, you can't steal anybody's gift because no one else has got. So you get the last steal at the very end, even after the last number. But anyways, my family's pretty. I mean, my family, they're pretty like old school Christian. So they're pretty like, it's like they're pretty strict on like everything. And where I'm a little bit more, you'd say like open-minded to being like, hey, you all are really crazy about this, and this isn't actually like, there's actually no reason to be. You're taking some scripture out of context. We won't get into the scripture part right now, but I thought it would be funny, because they're all like so like sensitive when it comes to alcohol. So my white elephant gift that I bought a fifth of liquor, a fifth of bourbon, and and so when they opened that, the whole room just got so awkward. It was awesome. They were like, "What? What's happening?" And then the little baby was running around with a fifth, and it was like the cover was on and the plastic was still in the, so there's no way the baby can even get into it. But
Who
the
ended
baby,
up with it?
I did. I ended up with it. Let's go. Hey, let's go. Hey, let's go. Woodford Reserve, thank you. But it's like the baby was running around with it and putting it in its mouth, like the top of it in its mouth, but everything was closed off. They were getting so pissed. They were getting so pissed. And I was just on the couch dying laughing, bro. They were so pissed. But that's what we don't want to do that for Christmas. Like, we'll eat there and stuff, Christmas Eve, and then on Christmas Day we'll open presents with just me and my parents, and then after we do that, we'll go to back to my grandma's for lunch, and then that's it. That's all we did.
So you brought the bourbon this year,
I brought the bourbon this year. It's the first year I decided to just let it rip. I don't care. I don't really care.
and but who was the one that opened the bourbon?
I don't remember.
You know,
I don't really remember.
you don't remember who's actually got the gift of the bourbon?
No,
Dang.
no, I don't remember.
Well, hey, that's one way to get bourbon. Get your own gift. I mean, you bring it every year, man. You're always gonna take it home with you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So we're not. By the time we film our next podcast, it'll already be New Year's. It'll be past New Year's. So I thought it would be fun to talk about. What do you have any goals for this next year? I wouldn't say resolutions. I'm not saying resolutions, but just like, do you have any goals, like big things you want?
I don't make New Year's resolutions. My goal is to be probably more on a schedule of some sort. You know, like have everything scheduled out better, maybe.
Okay.
You know, I know it sounds cheesy and corny, but my goal every year is just try to be a better person, a better husband. I mean, I don't like making resolutions because I usually break them.
Yeah, that's fair.
And well, I mean, that's true. I mean, like I can sit there and say, I'm going to lose weight or I'm going to do this. And it's like if I'm the type of person, if I don't do it just naturally, if I have to be like, make my mind forced to do something, then I have trouble with that. I just say, screw it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like self-sabotaging, I guess.
Do you have any goals for like streaming?
Well,
Since we both started streaming pretty recently.
well, as far as streaming goes, I mean, I'd like to hit that 50 on Twitch.
Oh yeah, and become affiliate. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
today, or is it today that you just figured out that you had today you saw that you had 100 subscribers on YouTube? I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty.
I got
That's
100.
pretty baller.
Yeah. I got 100 subscribers on YouTube. Got one video on there. It's got almost 1,800 views. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I just I'd like to get affiliate through Twitch. I'm gonna keep on doing YouTube and Rumble videos. I wouldn't mind to live stream one time on Rumble. I think that's a goal I want to do because Rumble really likes. I mean, you can look at their views. Rumble really likes the live streams. I mean, people really tune in on over there on the live streams. I just want to keep my main goal really, and I was talking about this the other day to the wife, is I want to be a badass video editor. I want to learn that stuff, man.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm so computer illiterate right now, but what little bit I've been doing, I ain't too bad. But I want to be legit, on that editing stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to do it. I've thought about taking a course or something, but if anybody out there listening to this knows how to edit and wants to teach a Gen Xer, thing or two, hit me up.
I think that, I think that when it comes to editing and stuff, it's so hard to learn watching videos.
I can't do it by watching. I got to be hands on.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what you would do. I don't know what you would do.
What about you? What's your goals?
I think that when it comes to the goals of my life, I think that my main goal for the end of the year was to hit 405 on bench. But I started getting into some shoulder pain and some shoulder injuries with some tendons. And so it was like towards the end of the year, it was more like me trying to rehab and just keep strength there. And I've not. Well,
what are you at right now?
Like 385. So, I'm able to I can. So my goal was 405, but also it's like I can't do that unless I won't even attempt. I don't like throwing 315 more than 315 on the bar if I don't have a spot, because if something bad happens or like I have a bone break or tendons tear, it's like your average gym goer's not gonna be able to pull that off of me. So it's like I don't want to try. I think that I could personally, even if one of my arms goes, I can take my other arm and get 315 off of my body. But it's like I don't want to try more than that without people that I trust, knowing who can spot me if I need it. But also it's like every friend that I've had who will go to the gym with me all drop out. Like a week or two in, they all will just say like, "Frick this! I don't want to go to the gym anymore."
So you're warming up on 315 right now?
No, I'm warming up. I warm up on 225.
Man,
but I rip out 315.
When I power lift, 315 was my max, dude. I think no, it wasn't even 315. It was 305. I couldn't get past 305.
I think that I could probably do 315, probably 8 or 9 reps right now.
I remember I could. It was 305. I could deadlift 585, and I squatted 620.
Dang, that deadlift and squat is crazy.
Yeah, but I had,
But I think that's my big goal is hit 405 on bench, because I remember like there in your life, especially as like if you're an athlete. So if you're an athlete growing up in school, then that automatically means you're lifting. If your coaches are not idiots. So it's like I've hit every milestone. I remember, like you remember the first time I don't really remember the first time I hit 135, but it's like when you get that first plate, you remember that. It's like when you hit 2 plates for the first time, you remember that. I specifically remember the first time I hit 315 in college. I remember it. That was a big deal. It's like a big milestone. Oh, yeah. And so it's like I never would have. I remember I've only seen one person in my entire life been able to bench 405 in front of me, so 4 plates, and I thought that was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen anybody in person do that again, never. So I think that it's wild that I'm on the cusp of doing that, so that's a big goal. I don't think that'll be a hard goal to hit.
I can tell you a little trick that a professional powerlifter told me one time.
All right, I'm ready.
If you're close to your goal, which you are, you're close to that 405. after you finished your sets, you're fixing to leave and everything. Before you walk out of that gym, grab you a spotter, put 405 on there, and do it one time, and then leave. Every day you go in that gym, right when you get ready to leave, just grab you a spotter, put 405 on, do it one time, and leave.
That freaks me out.
Hey, it works. It's something mentally that does something to you, man. It does. It works. It helped me hit my peaks.
Well, here's something else too. It's like once you get up to that weight, that's no longer just like chill lifting. That's like serious.
You can't have no, like you said, you can't have no just hey Joe, come over and spot me.
It's like even with 315 on the bar, it's like you have to go into like a different mindset and understand, hey, this weight can really hurt me. You have to take this very serious when you do that. It's like it's a whole. So it's like it's almost like an intimidation thing of like I have to snap out of that every time I start getting around over 315 when I start doing that for sets, because it'll honestly start to scare me. Like this is a lot of weight, and it's a different feeling. It's like a feeling like you've never felt. Like truly, most people in their life have never felt that much weight in their hands, and so it's like when you feel that much weight in your hands, it's like intimidating.
Yeah.
It's like a weird mindset thing. I don't even know how to. I mean, that's the best way I can talk about it. But
yeah, a guy named Mike Williams got me into lifting back in the day when I was doing it, and I about walked out the first day we went in there. He done 315 skull crushers.
Oh my gosh!
And he was like, "You ever done these?" I was like, bro, I think I might be a little,
That guy has to be sauced out of his mind.
I said, I think I might, this is just not, I can't be your partner, man. I mean, he goes, oh man, he goes, it's all right. He said, everybody starts out somewhere. He was the best person to ever be in a gym with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was knowledgeable, encouraging, but that first day, he said, you ever done skull crushers? Like, no, and, I didn't know what much was.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, I'll show you. He throws on all this weight. And I'm sitting there adding it up in my mind. And I'm like, does he mean, like, what the hell does he mean? And he was laying on the ground doing them.
Oh, gosh. I think that's a thing that a lot of people stop coming to the gym, honestly, because it's like they think that people will look down on them for not being able to do a lot. And it's like I'm always like, if I see somebody in there who doesn't look like they're in shape or they don't look like they're strong, it's like, I'm rooting for them. I hope that they stick with it, because
that's what the gym is for.
That's what it's for. But but at the same time, I hate people who are in there wasting my time. Who are like, there's my biggest gym pet peeve is people standing around in the gym and talking. Like,
my biggest pet peeve in the gym is cell phones.
I think that like I don't mind be like, hey, what's up? If I see somebody I've not seen in a while, hey man, how have you been? That kind of thing. But it's like if I'm working out, I don't want anybody. I want to stay locked in. I want to stay, with that aggression I have when I'm in that mindset, and I don't want to sit there and talk to somebody for 15 minutes. You know what I mean? And so it's like when I hate when people are lazy in there. That's what I hate the most, and especially if they're using something that I want to use and need to use, and I can see that they're not using it. Like also like. Sometimes, and this is a sucky part of my gym, but it is what it is. But it's like there will be like a lot of like younger high schoolers come in sometimes who are not there to be at their gym. They're just there because they're bored and they just want to be with their friends. So they're just talking, but they're also just like goofing around on the bench. On the one good bench, they're just goofing around with like 85 pounds. And these are these are like 15, 16, 17-year-old boys. It's like, hey, it's like in my mind the entire time I'm thinking like, I just want to go over there and be like, hey, I'm literally waiting on you all to get done with this. Like I literally, my warm-up set is twice your body weight. Can you please hurry up? but I always restrain myself. But no, that's a goal. I think my other goal for the year will be, or some other goals will be, just being more. I just need to be more consistent with streaming. Towards the end of the year with work, it was like I was just really busy and I wasn't able to stream as much, and I was always just coming home just killed, tired, and so it's like I wasn't wanting to edit videos or clips, so I wasn't publishing stuff to, all the sources that I need to. But I think there's potential for me to make something happen where it will be this, like, streaming will help me out financially. It'll be able to be like something a little extra, something, and it's like we all love playing games anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Just a stream. So I just think that being more consistent with that will help me out a lot, get more exposure. And
I want to edit y'all's video. Like I want to be good enough to where you say, "Hey, Steve, can you edit this video for me?" And you send it to me and I edit it, and you'll love it. That right there is probably my main goal, is to learn that stuff. So I want to be able to, if you send it, I got one. All of us that's doing this,
yeah,
you can sit and you'll be happy with the product. That's what that will be my goal.
Yeah, I wish that, and we have some friends, besides me, you, and Spanky, we're the only ones that stream, but it's like I remember all these times we'd always talk about, like, what we'd do if we won the lottery, and we talk about how it's like, our ideal life would be just being able to, for everybody just to live together and stream, and that's what we did for our lives and not to do things. It's just so fun.
I always said that.
Yeah, so, it would just be cool if we would be able to do that, but I think that I'd like to hit, I think my big goal probably to be able to do by summer is to hit, like, I know all it takes is one crazy stream and I could be at like 50 subs, 100 followers. I know it's just like, and I know that happens for people all the time. You talk about, you listen to streamers, like these big streamers when they started out, it's like they were just consistent, and they were just streaming to a couple people every day, and then out of nowhere, all it took was just like one crazy thing to happen, and they hit it, and then from there on, it just kept going. And it's not like saying like that was easy from there. It's just like they just kept doing what they were doing, and it just finally worked. So I think that can happen. So I think I could hit 50 subs. I think I could hit 100 follows on Twitch. I think that would be I think that would be awesome for, just starting out, and then that being able to do that this next year. I think that would be crazy. I think it's doable.
Oh, it's very doable, man. Basically, like, I think all three of us need, or just me and you. I think Spanky's kind of here and there with it, but
yeah.
I think we need to do some dual streams. Get on that cooking stream.
Yeah. Yeah, I still have my chat ask me almost daily when we're doing the cooking stream, and they want me to text them and be like, "Listen, this is when we're doing this is the date we're doing the cooking stream," because they don't want to miss it.
Let's tell your chat that we got the last piece of equipment in that we needed for all that stuff.
Oh, sick!
I got a daiquiri maker in today, so we'll be able to do some drink videos.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we ain't really got the camera, we ain't really got,
yeah,
we don't have an iPhone. We got Android, which don't have a good camera as iPhone.
Yeah.
But, we got a camera now. So, it just took us a little while to get set up. But yeah, the cooking stream's coming.
Yeah. Cool. I think that's all I had for goals or anything like that. I know that here's something, a goal that I'm about to hit, in like a week or two, is I was mandated by some of my friends to go on, I don't know if you knew this or not, but I was mandated by some of my friends to go on a shoddy cleanse. So there was it was for 6 weeks, I was not allowed to hit up a girl. I wasn't allowed to hit on a girl. I wasn't allowed to talk to a girl if my purpose of talking to her was to try to date her or anything like that. I wasn't allowed to do that for 6 weeks. I had to take a 6-week cleanse, and so that's up on January 9th. And so it's honestly, Steve, it's honestly been one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. And when I first started it, I could literally physically feel my testosterone lowering because I just didn't care anymore. It was like, okay, I don't care. I don't really care about girls at the moment anymore. So it's like, okay, maybe, I might be walking around during the day or something, and a shawty pass by. It's like a attractive girl walk by, and it's like, yo, I don't even care. I don't even give a rip. And it's like I started to get like more like I started to get like Eeyore. I was like, I just walking around. It's like I could feel the low testosterone in my body because it's like I wasn't motivated to do anything. It's like almost all of my being is like motivated to try to find, for the forever shoddy. And it's like once I lost that motivation, it's like, it just got real soft.
That's your issue, man. Your forever shoddy will not be someone that you find. It will be someone that you meet naturally.
Yeah, maybe true, but coming out of this shoddy.
If you're looking, you're going to settle.
No, and here's something else. I have determined in my life there is no settling. If I feel like I have to, here's something I always think about for sure. I think that if I'm not feeling like I'm batting out of my league, then I don't try as hard. Like it's like I start losing effort. I start losing care.
You're basing your league off of looks.
No, I'm not. But I'm also doing it off personality. So it's like if they also are just boring, then it's like I don't give a rip. It's like I start just like being like I just stop caring. I don't even care. So, but I know that I'm looking forward to January 9th. I'm pretty sure that it's slide central. It's slide time. We'll start sliding some DMs maybe. See what happens.
Bro, I'll just tell you right now. If you looking to date, you better find someone with a sense of humor because it ain't going to work out.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's like, what's up with the shawties these days? And no sense of humor, bro. Man. Yeah. And and here's something I've noticed because of some of the people that me and you who are gonna remain nameless. I will never, ever commit myself to anyone to where I have to change the being of who is Isaiah. Yeah. I'm okay with making some small adjustments if I'm doing something that's annoying or it's not good for me to be doing. But, I'm okay with the person I am now. I think the person I'm now is a pretty cool dude. So I'm never going to have somebody just completely alter my being. If I feel like I have to stop being who I am.
That's a good point.
Because who I am isn't a bad person. So if I have to stop being who I am and be somebody else for a girl, first off, that'll never happen. There's never gonna be a shoddy. I don't even. Ariana Grande could come down and be like, "Listen, you gotta stop with the jokes." I'd be like, "Hey, kick rocks, chick. You can get the frick out of here. It's just not happening. I'm okay if I have to be alone for a while. Then, it is what it is. But the shoddy, anyways. The shoddy cleanse.
You brought up a good point right there because. Honestly, I see a lot of, especially younger ladies doing that to their men. They try to change them, and not only just change little things about them, but change them entirely. And what I don't understand is if that's the type of man you wanted, why didn't you go after that type of man in the first place?
Yeah, because that type of man sucks. The type of guy that they want is a beta. I don't even want to get into it too much because I'm gonna start getting triggered. I'm gonna start getting really triggered. But man, anyways, moral of the story is coming off of the shoddy cleanse, beginning of the new year, got to try to make some big moves. But also, that's my last. We've been going for an hour now, so if you want to switch off and go into doing like a little. Give the audience a little bit of a show of what a sports podcast / game podcast would be for like the next 15-ish or 20-ish minutes. We can do that if you want to do that.
Yeah. So the next podcast that we do, which might be posted before this podcast, I don't know yet.
Yeah, it should be actually. Yeah, it will be.
Yeah. So if you listen to this podcast, make sure you check out our other podcast. It's still the same name. But we're going to go over pretty much a year in review of games we've done in 2023, what we've liked, our picks for Game of the Year, not some IGN bull crap, but our picks for game of the year. You know, I mean, I looked at my year in review on PS5. Jesus Christ, did I play a lot of different types of games? But yeah, we're going to go over pretty much a review of 2023 and us gaming, and then I'd say we step into some playoff pictures of NFL, plus the college football playoffs is up. And there's one thing I really want to tackle on our next podcast about sports is I want to tackle that baseball player that signed that $700 million contract.
Golly.
That's
it's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. But to give them a little sample, do you want to talk about Week 16 of the NFL this past weekend?
Oh yeah.
Let me switch over.
Go ahead. You started off with your team.
Yeah, we'll just go through it. We'll go through it. I've got it all pulled up right here. So let's see. We'll start off with the Thursday night game on December 21st. The Saints versus the Rams. The Rams beating them 30-22.
The Rams are a better team.
Yeah, the Saints have. The Saints just really aren't there yet for sure. Then we have the Bengals and Steelers game. I guess they were the early Sunday game. If the Steelers winning 34-11, and man, nothing makes me feel better about that, honestly. Because here's what I hate. I hate these Bengal bandwagoners who are just coming on board ever since Joey B has come up. It's like, no, that's not how this works, all right? You don't just get to be like, oh, the team closest to me is winning now, so I'm throwing on a jersey. It's like, no. It's like, you know how many Sundays I've had to endure of listening to my dad rage about the Bengals lose for the 23 years of my entire existence? But also me loving that rage and me wanting to see the downfall of the Bengals at all costs. So, in other words, I'm glad that the Bengals are sucking again. That's what I'm glad about. I'm glad they're sucking
Here's
again.
something about the Bengals, Isaiah, that I was told by my father. And my father's been dead a couple years, but he told me when I was a kid, I was, watching football, and everybody around me always liked the Bengals, so I was kind of starting to get into Bengals. He said, don't be no Bengals fan. Said, why not? He said, being a Bengals fan is kind of like marrying a hooker.
Oh,
he said it's fun at first, but at the end, they'll always let you down.
That's so true. It's so true. The Bengals quarterback threw for 3 interceptions. Yikes. Yikes. Okay, moving on to the next week, or the next game is Bills' Chargers. It was a close game at 24-22. The Bills are back on top, baby. The Bills they had a rough mid-season, and they came back out.
Yeah. Well, they're still fighting for a playoff spot. They ain't like
the AFC's it's AFC's the AFC right now. Then you have the next game is the Colts and Falcons. The Falcons won 29-10.
The Falcons have been winning with like 3 or 4 different quarterbacks this year.
Yeah, I've not been able to. I've caught a couple Falcons games. I've never really seen too much of them. I think
the Bucs will come out of that one, won't they?
I don't know. I also know that I've not watched a lot of Colts games, but I know that the Colts aren't good right now, even though they're 8-7.
Yeah.
But who's in the Falcons division?
The Bucs, the Panthers, and the Saints.
Dang, yeah, the Bucs I don't know. Maybe the Falcons will come out on top.
Well, both of them are 7 and 8, ain't they?
I think so.
Yeah.
Then you have the next game, the Seahawks versus the Titans, with the Seahawks winning 20-17. I think the Titans they got to trade Derrick Henry off. Derrick Henry's awesome, but they need to use him as some trade capital and try to get something different. Because the Titans had something a couple years ago where they were looking like they were almost having it, like they were almost being good, and then it just went downhill. And they're taking Derrick Henry with them down now. So.
Yeah, that would be a smart move too.
Yeah. The next game, you have the new NFC North champions the Detroit Lions winning 30-24 against the Vikings, bro. How about that, baby? Can we get a little appreciation and love for the Lions?
Well, it's MCDC, baby.
they're one of my
It's MCDC.
Yeah, the Lions coach is
Motor City Dan Campbell is awesome, dude.
he was I was watching the Pat McAfee show I think yesterday at the gym, and they're showing these clips of when Dan Campbell was first hired and his first press conference, and all these people on these sports talk shows were just like being like how sucky Dan Campbell's going to be, and just how much he's not going to be a bad coach, and they're replaying them now as the Lions have won the NFC. It's like all these guys. I hope they're getting absolutely wrecked right now.
Yeah, he says what's on his mind, and people can't handle it. So
yeah, I'm glad that they're doing good, even though that is the Pack's division. But
boy, how bad does the Rams look for getting rid of Goff right now?
I mean, they look bad. I mean, the Rams look bad.
Because Goff is slinging that rock.
Yeah, he's slinging, bro. He's slinging. It's also always a good day to see the Vikings lose. Next game, we have the Washington Commanders versus the Jets, with the Jets winning 30-28.
Who cares?
I care because if the Jets do good enough, we get to see Aaron Rodgers play.
No, they're out of the playoffs.
Oh, are they for sure out of the playoffs?
Yeah, they're 6-10, dude, and they're in their AFC East.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's fair. That's fair. Next game we have the Packers-Panthers, with the Packers winning 33-30, with the Packers still having a chance to make playoffs. As my favorite team. It wasn't a good show for Jordan Love in particular. It's like he played pretty moderate. But here's the thing that pisses me off about Jordan Love. It's like when he needs to be good, he's good. And when he doesn't have to put out, he won't put out.
Okay, so in order the Packers to make the playoffs, the Rams, Seahawks, and Vikings have to lose, and the Packers got to win, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And, I mean, crazier things have happened.
Yeah. Which I kind of don't want them to go to the playoffs so that way they get a better draft pick. But here's what it is. Next game you have the Browns versus the Texans, with the Browns beating the Texans 36-22. The Browns making a comeback.
Yeah, the Browns are 11-5. And Watson ain't really been playing, so
imagine when he comes back. If he can come back. I don't know what his thing is right now.
And listen, I'm a Texans fan, and I am so proud of my Texans.
That's true.
Like, I've been a Texans fan since they started, and I was happy when D'Amico was hired as their head coach, because I was thinking, man, that defense is going to be awesome. Little did I know that this offense is going to be pretty damn good.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I mean, they could run it, throw it. They got wide receivers. They go like 5 deep on wide receivers, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. In the next game, we have the Jags and the Bucks, with the Bucks winning 30-12. Baker playing out of his mind these past couple of games. Which, I hate to see that with Trevor Lawrence, because I like Trevor Lawrence, and I think that the Jags are real close to being a really good team, but I love seeing Baker just be crazy, and things going good for Baker finally. Then we have the Cardinals versus the Bears. The Bears winning 27-16, which sucks. I would have loved for the Cardinals to be able to beat the Bears, because I hate the Bears. I hate Bears fan as a Packers fan. I hate the Bears.
How bad do you have to be to lose to the Bears? I mean,
you got to be real bad. Well, I mean, let's see who they've beat this season.
They got the worst quarterback in the league.
They've beat the Commanders. They beat the Raiders. They beat the Panthers. They beat the Vikings. Dude, they beat the Lions? How does that?
They got a running back at quarterback.
Bro, but hopefully if there's anything that they've learned, it's they got to get rid of Justin Fields, even though your son is the biggest Justin Fields meat rider that ever has lived. Justin Fields,
he's a running back.
Sucks.
Moving positions.
Yeah, for sure. Next, we have the Cowboys versus the Dolphins, with the Dolphins coming out 20-22.
Yeah, Dolphins are
Dolphins. Yeah, I think that I would love to see the Dolphins in a Super Bowl. Also, love seeing the Cowboys being beat. I mean, the Dolphins just have a team. I like the Dolphins coach.
I
I
hate the
like Tua. I
Cowboys,
like
but I'm a
Reek.
fan of Dak Prescott. I love Dak Prescott. I hate the Cowboys. So torn.
Yeah, I don't really care about Dak too much in particular, but and then we have the next game with the Patriots Broncos, with the Patriots winning 26-23. Belichick making a turn for the best, maybe. Just to see that, hey, it's finally made sense that maybe Belichick is old Bill is not worth anything without Tom. How about that? Have we come to that realization?
No, I'm not on that realization. No.
I swear.
Every dynasty goes through a rebuild. You got to think when Tom left, he didn't go to a rebuilding team. He went to a stacked team.
A stacked team?
The Bucks was stacked.
They was not stacked, bro.
He went there and they got stacked because he went there.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, I can agree with that.
I'm just saying, give the Patriots a chance to rebuild, man, and then determine whether Belichick is worth anything or not.
That's fair. And next game we have Raiders and Chiefs, with the Raiders winning 2014. I watched this game pretty hard, and it was awesome. I loved every second of it. I think Max Crosby has to be in contention for Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, I know that we looked the other day, and you got T.J. Watt with the most sacks in the league, and I get that, but I don't feel like I've watched a game where anybody has more of an influence on how the game goes than Max Crosby.
Well, here's the deal.
That man is a demon.
T.J. Watt or Crosby, whichever one of them teams make it to the playoffs, they'll win whichever one makes it to the playoffs, they'll win the Defensive Player of the Year.
I don't know who's in the. I don't know the Raiders.
Both of them can get a wild card.
Is the Chargers in the Raiders conference?
Yeah, Chargers, Chiefs.
Broncos. Yeah, Chargers, Broncos, Kansas City. Oh, I don't know if they'll make it. I don't know if the AFC playoff picture. We'll look at that next week.
Yeah, they're in a. They could actually make a wild card.
Yeah, especially if they just beat the Chiefs. And then the next game you have Giants-Eagles, with the Eagles winning, of course, 33-25. It's a close game. Giants still suck. So
True.
And then the final and maybe most shocking game, and one of the best games of the weekend, was Ravens-49ers, with the Ravens winning 33-49ers 19, with Brock Purdy throwing 4 interceptions, and 3 of those coming in the first half.
Yeah, well, even with those 4 interceptions, he still just got 11 interceptions on the year with 32 touchdowns. So
I'm a huge Brock Purdy fan, and I know the 49ers. I have a rivalry with the 49ers and the Packers. No matter how good the 49ers are, if they're in the playoffs and they're playing the Packers, they beat the Packers every time, bro. It's the most annoying thing that happens. That'll always happen right before they make it to like the semifinals, is the 49ers will roll up with freaking Jimmy G. If Jimmy G freaking sucks, and just roll Aaron Rodgers, bro, every time. And it pisses me off. One year where they were about to do it, and Aaron Jones fumbled the ball. Anyways, I'm not going to get into the 49ers. I have an issue with the 49ers because they always beat the Packers in the playoffs. But, man, it's hard to not like the 49ers. It's hard to not like Brock Purdy. It's really hard to not like Christian McCaffrey, because that guy's the definition of a dog. And then it's also super hard not to like George Kittle. I mean, they just got a team.
Look at all them dogs they got on defense.
Yeah, and their defense is crazy.
And then they got what's his name at wide receiver? Shoot, his name's slipping my mind, but he does everything.
Oh, I forgot his name too.
Debo.
Yeah, Debo Samuels. Yeah, Debo Samuels.
Yeah,
it's hard. It's hard to see them lose like that to Lamar. But Lamar was play. Here's the thing about Lamar. He's doing what we want Justin Fields to do. Like.
Exactly. Only run when you have to.
He's realized that, hey, we may be able to win some games if I run the ball all the time, but we'll never make it anywhere if I don't work on passing the ball better and being a better quarterback.
Exactly.
And so he's been a better quarterback. He's making throws you wouldn't have seen him make 2 years ago.
Oh, he made some good throws in that game.
Is a good.
I watched
He's
that
just, I
game.
mean, he's a good player. You know, it's awesome that he got that huge contract signed by himself without an agent. And his
He's a
mom.
good dude. I mean, look at all the charity work he does, man.
So yeah, I'm a big fan of Lamar. I don't like the Ravens doing good because that's Noah's favorite team. And I love to be able to clown Noah, but I mean the Ravens are the Ravens. I mean they're 12-3 right now.
I've never liked the Ravens because they left and went to Baltimore. I thought they should have stayed in Cleveland because of the history, but money's money.
Yeah,
you know.
Here's the thing: you're such a boomer. I didn't even know that they've been anywhere besides Baltimore. So
What is the name of this podcast? Not Boomer.
I get it, bro. You're just sometimes I forget. But anyways, that's the end of or that's all the games. So and we have and we've been filming for an hour and 20. So,
Awesome. Well,
we can end
tune
it.
in. Just everybody tune in to our podcast. There'll be 2 a week starting next week.
Yep,
which will be this week when you tune in.
Yeah,
so.
I think the idea is that we're going to post our sports podcast on Wednesday, and then just our normal pod on Thursday.
Yep.
We'll also be streaming Steve's stream. So I know my normal streaming schedules. I try to stream literally every single day. Maybe not on Sundays, but probably not Sundays. But I try to stream 6 to 9, 6 to 10. But here on Christmas break, I've been streaming for longer. But you can catch us both on Twitch. You can catch me on Twitch. My Twitch name is Pixel Gods with 2 Z's, and then Steve's stream name is literally right there. So
tune in.
Come
follow.
Swing by, follow, sub, whatever. That'd be 60
say
sub.
hi.
Yeah, just come watch a stream.
Yeah, just say, hey, I tuned into your podcast or something.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Yeah, if we could figure out that some people listen to the pod.
I'd really like to interact with some people that listen to the podcast on stream. That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. But that's all we got. So we'll see you all next week.
All right, see ya.